Drake and Spotify. You wrote it up there. Let's get right to it.
Let's get right to it. That's what the fans want, man. They expect us to trash Drake right now, and I don't think we need to.
I totally disagree. I don't think that at all. I don't think that the audience is expecting this pod to come on and us trash Drake.
Okay, I could be wrong.
But if you want to trash him,
I have no desire to trash Drake. What I wanted to, so RBX, the artist, the rapper.
I'll get my shades, nigga. I ain't gonna leave you out there.
RBX is, if y'all don't know, he's a rapper, OG rapper, Death Row affiliate, wrote some really important songs, was part of the Chronic, part of a whole bunch of stuff, and he's Snoop's cousin. He sued Spotify. And the basic allegations that Spotify is complicit in the use of bots to fake streams. And in the lawsuit, they mentioned one artist as an example. That is Drake. I want to stress, Drake is not being sued. Drake is not being accused of any wrongdoing. Drake is just being used as an example to show how many streams are being produced, sometimes at things like bot farms, one of which was found in Turkey. And they're saying that maybe that a large number of the streams are faked, and it harms the other artists who are not being inflated the same way. They showed a time period from, I think it was January 2022 until September of 2025, where they were looking at just Drake's music as an example and showing these unusual inflations. For example, where somebody would be listening to Drake's music for 23 hours. And one of the major sources, just to tie this up, is
irregular listening habits.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's from what Mark is saying, the neo-geographic shit. Some of these streams are coming from places where there's no address, nobody lives.
Yep.
So
They're all using VPNs.
Yeah.
That's a big thing too.
And they're mostly tied to the free tier of Spotify, which is, so there's no credit card trace or anything like that.
Okay.
So that's how they're able to finagle the system. They're using the free tier. That's why I don't like free tiers on things. But
the free tier is not really.
It's not free.
It's not really free.
Yeah.
The free tier, that's a myth.
It is.
Right.
There's no such thing as a free tier.
Right.
Explain.
Come one, come all. I don't know if I feel like it in this talk, maybe in hour two.
They're selling you more advertising. They're taking more data.
Oh, got you. But the actual patron,
The free tier
It comes with a
isn't
price.
paying.
I might jump out there and say it ain't too far removed from being almost as valuable as the paid tier.
Probably more.
Which is right. That's what I mean when I say because it's a hustle. And the argument is not that Spotify is necessarily making the fake
farms?
streams, but they benefit so much from it that they're not.
They turn the side eye.
Yeah, because that's how they go to subscribe to advertisers and say,
Yes.
look at all these people we got listening. So they're incentivized to do it. The artists are incentivized not to stop it, and the only people really being harmed are people
lesser known
artists.
Yeah, it's
How-
the
how
middle
are they
class and lower artists.
How are they being harmed?
I explained this during a bunch of different times, but specifically during the Drake beef, that was one of my reasons why people might have an issue with him, is what happens on Spotify in particular, but I think also Apple, is they essentially pool tips, meaning they take all the money from all of the streams and then look at who gets what percentage of streams and divvy up the money that way. So if someone has an artificially inflated number, they're essentially taking money out of the pockets of people with lower numbers.
That makes a ton of sense.
Which is why RBX is sued.
And that's one of the reasons I was leaving Spotify. Well, I left Spotify. You can't take my numbers, put them in a pot with everybody else's numbers, and then divvy it up equally. No, it don't work like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not signing up for that. If I got more numbers, I want to be paid than more of these people. I got enough numbers to be looked at in a whole different
Separately.
place. Don't put me in that pot. So I get the lesser. No, I understand exactly what they're saying.
But in that instance, you would be the beneficiary of that.
No, I would not. No, I would not.
Like Drake in that instance is the beneficiary,
Right.
right? So if your numbers are I'm not saying your numbers are inflated, but if you have the higher numbers and they pool everything together, then you're going to get the lion's share of the pool.
In this instance,
no?
Drake would be the beneficiary because they have worked it out to pay him more.
Gotcha.
When I was there, everybody numbers go in the pot and we divvied this up equally or how we see fit. There's no way for a creator to know their true worth in that system.
Because you don't ever see the numbers.
No. Well, not the real.
No, because
They don't
put all
count
the
for anything.
Yeah, and they put all the numbers together.
They don't count for anything. If I'm carrying the ship, which I was, I deserve the lion's share or to be looked at independently. However you source ads for everybody else should not and cannot apply to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
According to I read some studies this morning on this, and the most reliable studies I've seen suggests that maybe 10% of all these streams are fake across the board. So that's the tune of tens of billions of dollars. So, and if a bunch of them are going to one or two artists, that's also a problem. And that's what they're finding with these farms, is that like 1% of people are accounting for it, like a disproportionate number of the streams. So
it's justifiable though.
Yeah.
Then it makes sense. Because if you just had streams for Joe Blow that were just inflated, then you couldn't, it seems fake. You know what I'm saying? If it's Drake, if it's Kendrick, if it's Taylor, if it's those people that command a certain amount of streams, we're just gonna throw a 500,000 a day over there to them, and then it seems
and that's not
plausible.
and that's not fair at all. If I'm relying on my song that I worked hard on, and you got 30 stream farms, I'm just pulling numbers out of head. 30 stream farms working 23 hours out of a day. That ain't fair at all.
True, I agree.
I think
I would want a fair shot.
But shouldn't it depend on the artist that's suing? I don't know. What's the
RBX.
RBX.
Well, they say class action suit, right?
Yeah, he's
So
opening the
it's a-
door, but
it's
he
a
wants
bunch
us to become a class action.
It should be.
And it should be a class action suit,
I
which
agree.
is why I don't get where your take about the fans wanting us to kick Drake's back in. This ain't, to me,
Drake got nothing to
really
do with
about
this.
Drake
It
at
ain't
all.
all.
Right.
Yeah.
The reason why it becomes about Drake, and it should not be, is because he's the only artist named in the suit. And it's not clear from the lawsuit where they got their data from or why they only chose Drake to point to. So I think they think that we're going to make the mistake that a lot of people have made in the last 24 hours, which is to misrepresent what happened. A lot of people are saying Drake is getting sued or that Drake was caught with bots, neither of which is true. We're much more...
Well, he's not getting sued in this suit.
Yes, there's two others.
Yeah, there's some other things going on.
Yeah, some other things, right.
Yeah.
But this one is not about Drake. It's interesting, though, and this is not a Drake diss at all. Again, it's just a matter of the chronology and the facts here, is that when Drake started to talk about UMG and bots and how they were being used potentially to harm him, there were experts who said, hey, you might not want to lift that hood up, because if you lift the hood up and start talking about who's using bots and whose streams are real and whose streams are not, you may find that there's a lot of fake ones on your side too.
That you may have no knowledge of.
But no, that's
Yeah, and I don't think he does have any knowledge. I don't think Drake did anything wrong here. I just think the fact is a whole lot of people use bots. They're just part of the business.
No, I think that was his point. I think his point was, dog, when they use them for me, I know how it looks.
So yeah.
So I know that y'all using them for him because I'm the nigga that they do it for. So I can identify when it's being done. I don't think he never necessarily denied that the shit is happening out here. He was saying like, my nigga, y'all do it for me. I'm the authority on this shit. I know how it is when an album is being pushed or with a button being pushed.
He's saying that when he did it, it wasn't at the expense of somebody else.
Yeah, that's what
That's
it.
it. Like,
And to me, that's a
Kendrick
terrible
doing it at the
argument.
expense of him.
Yeah.
I mean, painting him a certain way. You know, so that's...
I feel that. Well, let me say this. Let me not speak for myself. RBX is saying it is at someone else's expense because every time you get more money from these fake streams, I'm getting less.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a zero-sum game
Makes
here.
sense.
and he's correct.
Yeah.
To what
Shout out
Park,
to
and the
RBX.
way Parks explained it, that makes total sense.
And it's frustrating that everything's digital. Everything could be paid out to who it should be paid out to without doing this extra shit.
Yeah.
It's a bad business model, an unfair business model.
I only wish that the lawsuit had more names than Drake because this makes it about Drake.
True.
Again, and not about the system, not about the broken system, not about the companies, not about the thieves.
And
to play
also to that, you're pointing to the one guy who is probably most believable that all of these people fucked with those songs.
Right, because there might be somebody listening to Drake 23 hours a day, quite honestly, somewhere in
sure.
the world. That ain't the craziest
Well,
But
thing.
in fairness, the
lead
only,
they shit
the only
on.
way that this gets legs is if you do that.
Right.
If he points out whoever the fuck, Ariana Grande or something like
Right.
that, this is a non-story and it gets brushed under the rug. If you
Facts.
put someone who is already having a bot conversation, people like us will talk about it.
I think he should have picked like the Taylor, Drake, and blah blah blah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
and
yeah,
then
that's
they would have
fair.
made it more
Right.
just to single
Make
him
it
out.
more about the company.
Yeah,
yeah, not singling out
and
Drake.
it's easy for the miscommunication to flow because now they're going to conflate the UMG issue with the Spotify issue and all of that. It
I
just
feel like I've been saying for the last, at least since 2018, that the future is going to be filled with class action suits against the likes of a Spotify, and I won't name any other companies for now, but
Yeah.
this ain't going to be the last of it.
No, because
for
all these
sure.
tech companies are relying on inflated information and data to rise up their stock prices.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
stock
I was about to
prices,
say
sell
that.
ads, all of that
The
shit.
inflation of the
Profitable
numbers
for them to do it.
The inflation of the numbers is just to get more revenue,
Correct.
right? Like
Correct.
it still doesn't. It doesn't say that people are listening to you, and because the payout is small, right? What is this payout like?
It's something, a fraction of a cent. Yeah.
A fraction of a penny. So it's just to get them more money. I don't think it's taken away from anybody.
It's only
else.
to get more users, so it looks like your app is more viable, so that more people invest, so that you get more money for the stakeholders.
Right. You're like selling the sizzle before you get the steak.
New Joe Budden.